Bom dia, boa tarde, boa noite, me chamo Melvada, bem com vocês. Ouvir e ver o testemunho da ex-funcionários de Eberhard testemunhou sobre a primeira briga do casal. Funcionários da casa disseram que Eberhard tinha uma personalidade explosiva durante o julgamento. Uma das testemunhas foi a ex-agente pessoal de Eberhard, Kate James, que trabalhou com ela durante 3 anos e presenciou diversas situações descritas por ela neste vídeo.
What were your job duties?
Too many to mention.
Give me your best summary of what your job duties were, please.
Is this relevant? Okay, so let's see. I mean, if you are ready for a really, really long time of me explaining all of the details, that's fine. It's everything you could possibly do to run someone's life, okay? So it is grocery shopping, it is taking care of admin, it is running errands, it is getting the car fixed, it is getting the dogs groomed, it is picking up flowers, it is dealing with the decorator, it is dealing with the housekeeper, it is going on and on and on and on, and it goes on every single day. Arranging travel, dealing with all of the surplus staff around the travel, booking all the greeters, dealing with the changing of travel, okay, liaising with people that she's working with on films, updating her calendar accordingly, liaising with the people on set every single day to update her calendar to ensure that she knows what scenes she's doing each day, what her call time is. Every day it's something different. But it's a lot, it's a myriad of things that go across the board daily.
You were paid for that work, correct?
Very poorly.
What were you paid? Was it $1,500 a week to start?
Kidding?
Is that what?
I wish, my God. No, it was not. She paid me $25 an hour to start off with, and she finally agreed after screaming to pay me $50,000 a year once I went to full time. And this was after me working for well over 10 years as a personal assistant. So it was very insulting to me, but I did it anyway because I had grandfathered in the ability to pick up my son from school and bring him to work with me at 3 o'clock.
And you could have left Ms. Heard's employment at any time, correct?
Yes.
And I believe you previously testified to this, so I'm sorry for asking you again, but while you worked for Ms. Heard, did you ever see any types of injuries on her?
No.
Did you ever see any cuts?
No.
Did you see
No.
redness in her face?
No.
How about Ms. Heard having...
Never. Never.
Did you ever see Ms. Heard cry?
Yes.
How often did you see her cry?
Hard to put a number on it. Sometimes she would cry on the phone. I think at least once or twice she might have cried on the phone. You know, and then as far as seeing her personally crying, you know, she was a pretty dramatic person. It's hard to really put a number on it.
I'm focusing on when you saw her in person crying. How many times do you believe that you saw her in person crying?
I would say twice, maybe twice.
Let's take that in bite sizes. The first time you saw Ms. Heard cry in person, do you recall what she was crying about? Go ahead, Ms. James.
Insecure emotions.
So the 2 times that you recall Ms. Heard crying in front of you, you remember her crying about being insecure. Is that correct?
Yes.
You testified that she felt insecure about her relationship. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean by that?
He didn't like being away from his physical presence.
What else did Ms. Heard say about feeling insecure?
She told me she didn't like hanging out in his house with his friends because it was boring and they were all old men playing guitars and it wasn't interesting to her.
Did you ever witness Mr. Depp be rude to anyone?
He's such a gentleman. He's like a total Southern gentleman. So no.
Did you ever see Mr. Depp lose his cool?
No.
Did you ever see him scream at anyone?
No.
Did you ever see him break something?
Only in a video.
In your presence, did you ever see Mr. Depp break something intentionally?
Never break anything, never throw anything, always completely passive.
Over the 3-year period in which you worked for Ms. Heard, did you ever hear from anyone that Mr. Depp or Ms. Heard had been?
No.
Over the 3-year period in which you worked for Ms. Heard, did you ever see Ms. Heard be physically?
No.
Let's break that down a bit. When you say she was verbally regularly, can you explain to me how she was?
Screaming over the phone. She screamed at me once in person, multiple times screaming at me over the phone. Barrages of text messages, day and night, a lot of them in the middle of the night, I think you're aware. I think between 2 and 4 a.m. the barrage would start. That's what I'd wake up to. All incoherent, not really making sense, just basically someone to lash out at, no apparent reason to it.
You testified previously that you observed Ms. Heard be sister.
Yes.
What do you recall about that?
It was ongoing kick the dog kind of relationship with her sister, so it's really hard to pinpoint any specifics, but yeah.
You previously testified that you observed Ms. Heard be verbally.
Mm-hmm.
What specifically did you observe?
Well, there is a video that online where you can see her being foremost, so it's not even based on what I'm telling you. It's what I've seen, the interactions between the two of them when her mother was still alive and the fact that her mother.
Did you ever witness Ms. Heard tongue lash her mother?
Here and there, yes. Especially when it was build up to a stressful event or something like that, yeah.
You said you felt that Ms. Heard was verbally. Can you provide me with any specific examples of this behavior?
Well, I thought I did earlier, but yeah, it was just so random and ongoing. You would never know when it was going to come left of center. I do remember on one occasion when we were moving from part.
Está complicado cada vez mais para Amber e vocês o que estão achando sobre este casos? Deixe nos comentários e se inscreva-se no canal, dá like e vamos ver o desfecho dessa história. Beijos e tchau.